Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to focus on some yoga and some rolling that will be good to do before traveling. We are going to start by rolling out our backs. So place the roller on your upper back, lay back straight and raise the arms above your head, moving forward and back from the mid-back to the top of the shoulders, using the heels of your feet and lifting the butt up. Good. And just breathe through it. If you find a spot, you can hold it there. Good. Controlling the pressure, just turn over to your right side. We're going to roll out the lats. So you are leaning a little bit back, so it's not on your ribs, but it is still targeting your back. You're going right underneath the armpit to the side of the back. And go ahead and switch sides. Just placing your legs comfortably and in a way where you can control the pressure that you are applying to this point in your back. Breathing through, and as you can see, once I find a spot, I kind of hold it and wiggle it in there, almost as if giving myself a massage. Good. Now sit up. We're going to move to the legs, placing the roller to the knees in a tabletop position. Adjusting it as needed. You're going to bring the right knee to the outside of the roller, and then the left leg is going to straighten, and you're going to roll out the left thigh. All the way to the hip, all the way to the knee. Focusing on the IT band, you're going to roll to the side. Hit a little bit of the glute, and as you can see, my right knee lifted up off the ground, and I'm now using my right foot and my left elbow to keep me stabilized. Good. And just breathe through it. This one is really good, especially if you just did legs or running. Good, and turn back over. We're gonna move it down to below the knee to the shin and roll that out. We actually hold a lot of tension in our shins and calves, and by doing this or massaging the shins and the calves, you can release a lot of anxiety. Good. Now we're going to switch and sit in our butts so that we can get the back of the right leg and hit the calf. Make sure you relax the foot, lifting the butt off of the ground and keeping the right foot planted, moving forward and back. And now the hamstring. So between the knee and the glute, and then moving to the glute, just rolling it out. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Nice. So now we are going to switch sides, placing the left knee on the outside of the roller and the right leg on top of the roller. Extending that leg, keeping it slightly bent, and just focusing on that thigh and turning a little bit, hitting the IT band a little, and then flip, planting the left foot, lifting the left knee so that you're more on the side of the leg. Good. Keeping your weight mostly on your elbow and your planted foot and controlling the pressure in that way. Beautiful. Make sure you're really breathing through this. Good. Now flip all the way around. And now we're going to focus on the glute and the hamstring. Really getting deep into that muscle. Beautiful. Okay. So now we are going to go into some yoga, starting on our tabletop position. Just warming up the wrists a little bit here, moving the hips forward and back so the shoulders come behind and over the wrists, and then side to side a little, and some circles. Beautiful. And now we're going to drop it back into child's pose, bringing the hips to the heels of the feet. And now bring it forward into puppy pose, dropping the chest to your mat, lifting the hips up, keeping the core tight, opening up that throat chakra. Bring it back into tabletop position. And lift the left leg for a little hip rotation inward, drawing circles with the knee and outward. And switch. Just do it a couple of times, breathing in and out. Good. As big circles as you can, keeping the hips square. Nice. And now we're going to go into some cat-cows. Good. Tucking the chin, breathing out, lifting the chin, opening the chest, breathing in, and again. And now some circles, spinal circles, bringing it side to side, moving the hips, letting everything just flow. Tuck the toes and bring it back into downward facing dog, lifting the hips, pushing away from the ground, and walk it out on the toes, lifting the heels off of the ground. Feeling that you're able to get into a deeper stretch because we rolled. Bring the right foot in between the hands for a high lunge, keeping the arms on the ground. You can open up for a twist on either side. And then into pyramid, keeping the same hand on the ground. Twisting back into the lunge and a forward triangle pose. Good. Bring that back knee down, untuck the toes, lift the arms up, breathe in, breathe out. Bring the arms to cactus and then drop behind you and reach for that back foot for a nice thigh stretch. Good. Hold it here for a second. Release, breathe out, shift the weight back and lift the front toes up for a hamstring stretch. Bring it back forward and walk the toes over to the opposite hand for a pigeon pose. Making a 4 with that top leg. And if you'd like, bring it down to the elbows and just breathe here. If you're traveling, this is going to be really good to open up the hips and keep the blood flowing so you don't get stiff while you're sitting all day. If you'd like to take this variation, walk those front toes back a little bit and lift the back leg up and take a bind with the arms. Release. And bring that leg back into downward facing dog. Same knee into the elbow and take it back for wild thing. Beautiful. Back to center and thread it through the front and open up. Drop the butt into a straddle. Bring the chest forward. Reach for the toes. Good. Bring it in for a butterfly pose. Hold it here for a second. And release. Bringing the same right foot up for a more advanced variation. Beautiful. And release. Now we're gonna just sit crisscross and do some spinal circles again. And open up the legs back into straddle, lift the hips up, and thread it back through to center into downward facing dog. Other leg forward for a high lunge. Take a twist on both sides. Same arm down and open into triangle pose. Bring it back into your high lunge. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, and lift the arms up. Open up the chest and breathe out. Bringing the arms down, reaching for the ground. Lift up that back foot for a quad stretch. Keeping the hips square. Release. Drop the hips back, lift the front toes up for a hamstring stretch. Shift the weight back forward and bring it into pigeon pose. Hold it here for a while, keeping the breath steady, breathing into that hip. Beautiful. Amazing work, guys. Good. Now walk those front toes in a little bit. Lift the back leg up. And if you'd like to take this variation, go ahead and bind the arms. Good, really opening up those hips. And release. Lift it up into downward facing dog. And into wild thing, flipping open. Back to center, keeping that knee up, thread it through. Lift the hips and then drop into your straddle. Bringing the chest to the floor if you'd like, deepening the stretch. And then a little side bend here. Really opening up the side of the body, breathing through. Beautiful. And release. Bring it into butterfly pose. Good. Adding some movement. And now if you'd like to take this variation, lift up your left leg, thread through the left arm, and for a deeper side bend. And release. Couple of spinal circles again, moving the hips and the thoracic spine. Good, breathing in and out. Open up to your straddle again. Lift the hips up and then thread that leg back through into downward facing dog. Roll it forward for chaturanga. Untuck the toes, upward facing dog. Good, and keep the knees down, drop the hips back for a child pose. Walk the hands in. Good, amazing practice today. Now you are ready to travel. Taking a deep breath in, cactus the arms down. Again, deep breath in, arms up, and breathe out, hands to heart center. Setting your intention for the day. Ready to travel to your next destination. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I'll see you next time. Namaste.